First thing on the agenda is approval of the annual tax levy ordinance. Would anyone want to make a motion to approve that ordinance?
I'll make a motion to pass the annual tax levy for this upcoming year.
I'll second that.
All right.
Yeah,
You need me to take a roll?
Yes.
Gerald Childers,
here.
Jason Farmer,
Yes.
Jeff Weber.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Jason, that workforce investment board, did we ever assign anybody to that? That Harrisburg, I believe it is.
You know, we've talked to some people about wanting to join that board, but it's hard to get someone to commit to that because, you know, they have to travel.
That's been vacant for years, right?
Yeah, so.
I think they look like maybe it was the last one on there. I'm not sure.
Would you consider being on there again?
Well, he might. I can ask him. They, was gonna try to get a grant, and they couldn't get it because they didn't have full board. So, we need to get somebody on there if we can.
I think next on the agenda is what the travel lounge, you all looked over that?
Patrick coming in?
No, he's out of town today.
We need to wait till 8:45 on that.
Yeah, it's on the agenda, but I didn't know if y'all, any questions on it or had a chance to look over it.
No, I have. I've read all the way through it. I'm good with it.
I think Joe's out today too, if I remember right.
Maybe so.
Yeah. If he was taking some vacation. Yeah.
When did you know that? Here a couple weeks ago, I got shot up there in the north end of the county.
Yeah, go down.
Well, maybe you shot him.
River,
Steve. That was
That's the
in
autopsy.
Woods.
Huh?
That was in Woods.
This is Stafford,
That's
Ashley
Stafford.
Well, it's
Stafford.
that's a married name.
She was with,
I believe.
I had autopsy, I just wondered.
she committed suicide.
them are yours or Dana's or both of yours?
It's mine and Dana. It'll replace the IC.
You got a fund or anything you usually put that under? or-
Yeah, I can't remember what it was though, and I didn't have time to look it up, I just read it together, but it is, there is one.
Who's Dodge Dakota is that? We're buying gas for.
Looks like the coroners.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
Should we be paying a mileage instead of that, or how do we?
I mean, whose vehicle is it? County's vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know we had what, two vans?
One thing, right?
One van.
Oh, we've got the sheriff's car borrowed. So it's a personal car?
No, this is for the county, it's the county coroners. Remember you had to buy a vehicle and they bought it off the farmers.
Well, that's a
But that's a
van,
pickup,
though.
isn't it?
The Dakota's a pickup. I believe.
I don't know them.
I'm just asking about it.
Jason and him are big buddies.
Is that right?
The Dakota and the coroners.
Are they driving a Dodge Dakota also?
The sheriff, it's the old sheriff's, car he had.
That's not a Dodge Dakota.
That's a car that,
I guess they made a mistake. It is a Dodge.
It's a-
it was, the
It's
sheriff
big.
said the sheriff said he could use that temporarily.
Yeah, I saw that 30 times.
Yeah, so that's what he's using.
Okay.
They decided a few weeks ago. They caught pretty slowly.
getting this switched over. As soon as they start switching things over. But it'd be after January.
It's your agenda.
It can be yours if you want.
Looks like he's coming in town January the 19th on Thursday.
Oh, he'll be here
Yeah, he's coming in town. So,
Thursday.
on a Thursday. He'll be here Wednesday night, stay overnight, be here all day Thursday. So maybe we can, he can come here and look at, you know, the building on, the tuck pointing and what we talked about.
I had a guy call me last week asking about the tuck point.
Okay.
You know, you got a bid on it.
Well, it's one of the guys that looked, I don't know if it's one of the bidder.
No, that you gave me was the wrong guy.
Can't win.
Well, maybe the questions I have that Eric can answer.
Jeez, that one good.
No, that's all it is today.
I was scared. I think you did.
Can be the first time we've done that. Was it Dana?
Should be back.
Pretty mild agenda today.
Thank you. I'm good.
Ma'am.
We was talking to one of you there earlier about that Tyler, count or whatever you're changing over. Is that the first year it's all gonna start?
They'll start doing their transition after that.
And then, just what, do they come down and do training for a period of time? Or-
Yeah, we haven't got, I think, are they starting with you first, I believe,
Yeah.
and then, so we haven't got to my training yet, but,
Where they heading, where they main, headquarters at?
oh, where are they from?
You know,
I hope so, Missouri, but I think it might be Spice and Sight.
Yeah.
This bill out of Dallas, Texas, so,
I know they're the same company too, that the city uses.
you all met the, I guess, the rep or the
Mhm.
person.
Have you known those people before? All new, huh?
Almost. I'd hope to have some emails this morning with some money from the state, but we don't, so hopefully this week we'll get the rest.
Probably all on vacation.
Were you expecting still in?
It's working in there when I come in. I'll have to go get my list over there. Bring it back to you. And we'll start working on the delinquent letters for real estate. That'll be like the first thing,
Yeah.
first half of January.
You put that post in the paper?
It has to be like 30 days before the tax sale, so.
It's in
and that's gonna
February?
be in February. We haven't set the exact date yet.
Who decides that, or when will you decide that?
Judy kind of gets all that put together, then we have to get with, the Massac County trustees as far as dates. They're gonna try and do Massac and I think, Alexander County maybe at the same time, do both sales the same day while they're,
You go doing the computer again?
Mhm.
That was good.
yeah, that was really good. There'll be some changes, like we can't accept a check 2 weeks prior to the tax sale. It'll have to be changes.
in case the check came back or something.
There'll be a charge, I think it's like $250 to register, and if you show up, you get that back. If you don't, then the county gets to keep that, so.
Bless you.
I'll be back with
All right,
that
thank you,
outstanding, you're welcome.
Trash it.
Throw it grass.
Cleaning out his folder.
Yeah. Need to follow up on that. This time of year.
I went down and checked this, the only thing left was sheriff's fees.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Hmm?
That's a problem.
Sandy working a few days a week, or
Yes,
that's it?
she normally brings them in on Fridays, so.
How's her health, get better? The career had a public comment, you're welcome to stay. Gerald, you ready for that?
Yes, I'm good for public comment.
Okay.
9:30.
Let Debbie go first.
First of all, I wanna know if you have a budget for 2017.
No.
No? How can you vote on a tax levy when you don't have a budget for 2017? know these, I went through the budgets from 2012, your estimated and the auditor's actual, and they're a joke. Budgets have been. You can look on the back page, and what you put for your estimated and what the actual was for 2012 was a difference of $2,447,426. $3 million for 13, $3 million for 14, and $4 million for 15. That's how much your budget is off each year. So you're making a budget out, but it means nothing when this is just the income part, because I've been going through the revenue part, or the expense part, and I haven't even got through all that yet. But just to look at the budget for the revenue for these years, it's ridiculous that you're off that much each year.
Dana, can you answer any of those questions?
I'd have to have them in front of me to even.
Well, the estimated and the budget amount came from what y'all passed. You approved. The commissioners signed off on it and approved those. The audit ones came from the audits. The amounts did. The actual amounts.
Let's go through a year, because, I mean, I can't really follow what all you have located here. What year you wanna pick? Don't matter to me.
Go for 15.
Okay, here we go. So we're starting the first page.
Mhm.
You're saying, is it under 2015A audit?
That's your actual.
Okay.
That's the actual amount that was taken in.
I'll just look at the show.
So carry over is 2.566 million.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think there's a discrepancy there, but okay. Property taxes, you're saying that we collected 1.4 million? That's how much we got paid?
That's what the audit said.
And that's inaccurate. It can't be. Our payment usually from property taxes in the 400,000 range. So,
Well,
I mean, I don't,
the audit, that's what the audit
Well-
said. So, I mean, if the auditor is off that much, you need to be looking at some auditors.
okay,
So,
maybe we are.
okay.
So I don't think that's right. For sure. To you guys, we never received 1.4 million in property tax payment. It's usually in the 400,000 range.
1.4 sounds like a lot.
Well, I know EEI pays $1 million in property tax.
Well, a lot of that goes to,
It's like in the District 1.
not, their whole property tax bill is that much or what?
It's 1.1 million.
Split up between a lot of different taxing bodies.
Well, like I said, all these numbers came from the audits
Yes, ma'am.
and from the budget that you had passed.
Okay.
But that, just after going over the revenue part of it,
Mhm.
I don't understand how you can pass this levy again when you don't even have a budget. Without any discussion or anything.
Well, the budget's being worked on. I mean, I'll speak up for Gerald and Jeff on that, but the levy has to get passed this week. That's the deadline. So it will be, it was passed, so. If it did get passed, I mean, all these other agencies would be getting that money, so. That's the way it is.
that, there's still a question of the money that was taken up since 2014. We still wanna know where it's went to.
I can speak for the money that was spent. $500,000 a year, it comes out to be roughly $41,000 a month. We were behind in probation, we were behind in, barely making salary, having to borrow money, so the money's all there, it's all accounted for. It may not be spent the exact way you wanted it to be spent, but that's why you vote for these three, to spend
Well, I'm
money.
just saying, there's 1.7 million in the last, since 2014.
That's
We've been behind that much.
$40,000 a month.
We've been
Is
that
what
far
the-
behind each
Yes,
month?
ma'am, yes. We made one payment, you keep looking for huge payments, they're not huge payments, they're small payments, just like all the others. Were we 73,000?
73,000
We had to
probate.
pay in probation, just in one
Do
month.
you think that they was behind because they didn't do budgeting like other county governments?
I'm not gonna say that, no.
Well, what do you think caused it to get behind?
It's just, the money, cash flow.
But isn't that what
Probably,
budgeting
right.
does? Isn't that
It
what
does.
government's supposed to do, is budget, have some sort of idea of what's coming in and going out,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just, it makes me sit here and think, as a person, and I'm just listening to all of this here, the people of Massac County have three choices. One, is it incompetence? Two, is it corruption? Or is it C, both? And that's what I see out of these meetings. There's no budgeting, there's no accountability, as Debbie pointed out, you're just voting in tax increases, without budgeting. I hear that you, now, I don't know if it was you, but you just talked about another $250 tax increase. Here, at one meeting, I've heard 2 tax increases brought up. Every time, a 50% tax increase.
I don't know what the-
Well, a
$250 he's talking about is what that we spend
Yeah, what was that?
for the tax buyer to join the tax.
So you're
Yeah.
charging people $250 to buy your property?
No, we're charging them $250 deposit if you show up too, because they have to plan for you. Computers, all the setup, all of that.
Okay.
So if you say you're coming and they set up a space for you and you
That's right.
don't cause, you cause them
But you're
work.
still paying for
You
it one way
re-
or the other.
Yeah, and you refund.
So now we're gonna do it in person as opposed to do it online? Are you talking about the property tax sale?
The property tax sale, yes,
Isn't
at the
it
end of
normally
the tax
done
sale.
online?
No, it is not done online. It's done right downstairs downstairs in the hallways.
In the
where they-
bids?
Yes.
Like when
No,
I
not
submit-
the sealed bids, that's a.
That's what I'm
different-
asking.
Yeah, no, that's different.
Okay,
I'm
what
talking
is
about
that?
the property tax sale at the
Okay.
end of the property
Okay.
tax cycle.
That's what I was wanting to hear, but that's
Yeah.
still another tax increase in the fee.
It's a fee that's returned if, as long as you show up like you say you're going
Okay.
to, then that's refundable.
Okay.
It just kinda guarantees that, people are serious when they sign up, that they're going to attend.
But
You don't have 10
what do you think-
stations
What
set
do you
up
think
and
about
3
this $8
people.
million budget? You think Debbie's close on that?
I'd have to go back and, I'd have to check her figures. They're not saying just because she shows up with a paper that it's correct.
No, I
So,
agree. Now, I am taking her at her word, if she
Well,
went
that's-
to the budget.
Mm-hmm.
But that's $8 million? We got a county budget of $8 million? Or we spend $8 million according to the audit, but there's no budgeting ahead of time on what we're gonna spend? Like we're getting ready to start a new year, there's not been a budget put in for any repairs of a courthouse. Massac County went through 2 elections for tax increase, and it's been voted down twice, but we still don't do the budget, and we've not put nothing in to fix the current courthouse?
You probably just need to write all your concerns down and we'll address them one by one, Sammy. How's that?
Well, I'm just putting them all
Well,
out
that's
here
fine.
right
Put them
now.
all down in writing and we'll address every
That,
one.
now, that's a government response, putting people off, not being responsive.
I mean, we have to have time to get the figures that you're talking about and all that. You have time to prepare. We need to have time to prepare for what questions. If you are truly concerned about the welfare of Massac County, then write your concerns
am.
down and we'll address
do.
them.
I come
I've
to
not
the
seen
meetings.
one in writing, not one one request.
The
a month.
current, I'm here,
trying
this is a
to-
public announcement, and
And
this is
that's
what we
what
get
it
to
is.
ask.
Okay.
We get to put the comments out here.
Okay, we'll write them down and
I
we'll
don't
address
have
them.
to write
one-
them down.
Mhm.
The concern is tax increases and property tax, and people want property tax relief in Massac County, it's
And I
obvious.
agree for you, I agree with you with that.
So
but
what are we
If
do-
we want to come to conclusions, let's get it all wrote
Okay,
down,
what are
let's get
we-
it all.
what are we
I'll
doing-
write it down for you. if
What
you
are
need
we
me to.
doing to have a property tax relief? What are we doing to cut the footprint of government?
Everybody, and I believe every office holder here tries to not spend more than what they need. I think we all try to stay within our budget.
But we don't have a budget even for this year yet.
Well, I mean, we kinda know in our office what we've asked for, what we,
Okay?
what we spent the prior year.
And you know what, I'm also saying, some of this isn't necessarily your fault, some of it goes back to the county board's fault. I mean, that's a check and balance of government. Government has a check and balance. The county commissioner should be asking you, Dana, hey, I noticed that this month that you went over $5,000 on your budget. Isn't there any particular reason?
Yeah.
I don't hear those.
Anyway.
Sheriff, have you
That's
went
what-
over your budget?
Dana, when you get your audit back and they show you the actual amount that you, do you do your budget from that actual amount then?
I don't do the budgets.
They don't do it, she don't do the
Well,
budget.
who does budget?
The budgets is the county commissioners.
Okay.
The county commissioners have two main purposes, budgets and board appointments. That's their main thing. They control the government through budgeting process.
Okay, do y'all look at the budget or at the audits then and adjust it?
Let me ask you on this here, you wrote, 191,388, it's something new that was went on your list last time,
Yes,
okay? Well,
that came from Joppa, it was sent there by mistake.
okay. So you're talking about the check we received from
Yes.
Sue, okay? Okay, I didn't know what that represented.
Yes, that was money that was sent to them to begin with,
And then-
instead of being sent here.
And then you made the correction from last time, was the
Yes,
last
I
time you,
did.
last time you had it wrong there.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I see that. All right.
Like I said, I haven't got through the expenditures yet, because, what's on the budget changes from one thing to another. When I pull out the audit, the budget does not match the audits. When they have the estimated and the budgeted amount, does not match the budget that you passed. I don't know why that is, but those numbers continue to change. So I'm going to go by what you passed and then put in their actual figures and go from there.
You know what that could be possibly, Debbie? I will say that if they have one thing on their budget and then have something else on their audit, that could be something different of, no more than what you call the name of it. You might have one pen and pencils, and later on you might call it an office expense. So I'm not for sure, but you're saying there's huge items, changes of what's in the budget and how they do?
Right,
Okay.
right. This is something for you to look at. Next time I'll have the budget, or the expenditures ready for you to look
It
at.
would make it more consistent for what Debbie is saying, if your budgets do match your audits on your, headings. That would make it easier for lay people off the street to come in and just to review, such as myself.
Well, I've had to backtrack and add up the amounts to make them, figure out what they listed as different things, because they did name them different in the audits. But I backtracked and added the numbers to get those, figure out what they put into each one of the things, but still they changed the numbers on a lot of stuff.
You know, what is interesting for what has been said here, and then what Dana has said, and I'll preface this, because I do think it's probably without looking at your stuff, that you paid bills. Well, that goes back to the issue with your budgeting process. If you're saying that whenever EEI started paying in this additional tax that Debbie has pointed out, which is almost $2 million, almost 1.9 million, but you had to use that money to pay the bills. But you got the bills, the government's so out of kilter, you see what
Well,
I'm
you
saying?
act like we got $1.9 million just handed to us at one time. It's not. It's over a 3-year period of time.
Well, that's fine, but I'm still,
And
asking-
I'm
I'm
just
still,
saying,
I'm
you
saying
know,
what you're
it's-
saying. But if you had a budgeting process, if you was looking at the budget, if you was looking at how the thing is operating, it's still 1.9 million, either, whatever, you pick two,
Which is-
say 2 years. Almost $2 million, $1.9 million over 2 years?
And I
And
think
you're-
that figure changes with you guys, 1.7, 1.9.
Well, I think
It's
she
probably
already said,
1.5.
I think she said
Anyway.
1.7 here, and she found
Right.
another 191 million.
Right.
But that comes up to roughly 1.9 million.
No,
It's
listen,
1.7.
1.7.
I
Last-
misfigured.
listen,
Okay.
last time it was
Okay.
1.6, this time it's
Right.
1.7, it changes.
Okay,
week
1.7
to
million.
week.
But what I'm saying is,
That was the average.
there has to be something that changed in the way the government operates. If you would have suddenly received this windfall coming in for the last 2 years, what shape would it really been in?
A whole lot worse.
A whole lot worse.
Or would you have had your electricity? But that
It's
goes
a
back to your, that
possibility.
goes back to your
It's a possibility.
budgeting process. That goes back to what government does. That goes back to what the county commissioners are supposed to be doing. Hey, we're here looking at your budgets, Sheriff, why do we have $20,000 to spend? Well, we bought a new car. Well, you know, there is a lack of, I don't know, just a lack of, let's just leave it at that, but I still don't hear where people are even addressing the issue of a property tax relief, and which is a main issue here in Illinois. It's being addressed in Springfield and all over the state, in all the counties, is people are crying for property tax relief, and you will never get people to locate to this county if it's viewed as inoperable for business. Businesses will go where they can make the money and where it's cost effective to do business.
So you thought we should not pass that today, is what you're saying?
Absolutely, I didn't think you should pass it.
I mean, I asked the highway department, engineer, he said he'd have somebody else, at least half of his staff if it wasn't passed today. I mean, it depends
I
on that.
don't know who was gonna get laid off.
So,
That goes back to county budgeting. But no, I did not think that
you
this,
know, the other offices that,
I'm
that
looking at what the
request
money
up to
came
4H,
in new
the-
from EEI.
the health
Yes,
department.
it's new money.
I mean, you don't think.
That's
any of
up to
those-
you.
Has any of those agencies?
I
done
am
that?
talking about tax relief. It was up to you to lay off. That is up to you.
It's
Jason,
something we
you're
pass
county
every year. You know that. You keep saying it's a new tax.
It is a new tax. It expires
It's
on
new
December.
for the year.
It
It's every year.
expires and it's
Nothing
brought
new.
back in. It is a new tax every year.
Every county in Illinois passes this tax.
But
Now,
y'all increased it even from last year.
how much did it go up, do you know?
1%, you said.
Yeah, it was around $7,000, I think, total.
Well, you could have lowered it 7,000 if it was that little.
So,
It's failed government.
you know, in every county, this levy's passed every year.
What I am saying is a
Don't you agree with
property
that?
tax, well, I don't know, I haven't checked every county. But what I do know that you have $1.7 million coming in, and there was enough money there coming in from new revenues to offset the property tax. There's enough new revenue to offset the property tax.
Yeah.
You have enough money coming in to offset the property tax. And that's based upon what I'm seeing here. But then I said, and listened to what Dana is saying, well, you're totally lost on what you're doing. Now, that was interesting, but if I'm not mistaken, that was really kind of the first time that statement has really actually been made. That we needed the money because the bills got so bad because y'all haven't done the budgeting and stuff in the past. But yes, when I say that you can get rid of that property tax because you got $1.7 million of new money coming in from EEI, which is, yes, it could have been offset. But when you're not doing the budgeting and doing the bookwork and the planning and seeing what can be done and not, you won't know. You're lost. You know, you're just lost. And I'm not talking about a few $100s, a few $1,000s. I'm talking about 1.7 million, which was enough. Or you could have used that 1.7 million and say, hey, we're gonna take this new revenue stream that is coming into the county, and we could have fixed the courthouse and made the repairs. And that's what I'm saying. But based upon what you're giving me with the information, yes, the property tax could have been eliminated. Now she tells me that they were so far behind that they was on the verge of turning off their lights. So now they're taking that money. Well, why did we get that far behind? Why did we get that far out of kilter? And what I'm saying is, those are just things that you have to look at. And I'm sure you do it at your own home. If suddenly your electric bills or your bills are increasing to their thing, surely you say, well, I wonder why this has went up this much. You know, oh, you might let 1 month go by or 2 months or something like that, but surely you say, hey, boy, but our expenditures, I'm looking at the checkbook, it is just getting out of line for what numbers we have in, and that's what I'm saying. Yes, I am asking for tax relief. I'm asking for tax relief for everybody in the county. I am asking for the property relief so that the county can grow and that you have an economic basis for people to move here. I hear people say, well, why don't we give tax incentives for new business? Well, your incentives for new business, why not give tax incentives for all businesses? Why not encourage people?
Why is your business over here?
What? Oh, I've got a
Your-
business over here.
I'm talking about your radio
I
station.
got me over
You
here.
had a building that you want to end up like the courthouse, a building that's.
Now, that's
It's-
not necessarily true. Sir.
Well,
Let's
you
talk
have-
about the theater.
You have a theater building that was completely taken over by the city. I mean,
It was
you
called
know, it's in
eminent
horrible
domain.
shape. That's what you want here. You want
No,
this
it's called
building-
eminent domain,
you
and it
want
was
this
a
building to be in a
political
horrible
taking.
shape.
It was a political taking. Because I come in and I say these things,
Yeah.
and I piss off you, I piss off her, I piss
Yeah.
off him, and I piss off him.
But then you know.
Now, that's
you-
what's called a political
you
taking.
have a business and you don't even want to operate it over here. And we wish you would. We wish your business.
Nobody
would.
wants to operate in this town because of your attitudes, of the money, the taxation,
Yeah.
and you're running people out. Nobody wants to be here. And yes, people are going to continue to run out of this town.
Well,
and they're going to continue. And they're going to continue.
This tax passed so we could remodel the courthouse, and you fought hard against it.
Absolutely.
You know, both times. Because that's what you enjoy. You want this building to fall down.
Well, I don't think the building's going to fall down.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've got three
You know,
choices here.
I mean, you made the same.
Incompetence,
You made
corruption,
the same choice
or
personally.
sick.
I mean, we have a building right next to our post office was in horrible shape.
You know, the city of Metropolis took the building. Why don't you go address the mayor? Ask the mayor and the city council, when they took it by eminent domain, why didn't they do a project? Why didn't they do a project? Now, you know,
I just wish
you're,
the owner would have kept better care of it.
go tell the city of Metropolis, tell the mayor that he should have taken better care of his building. Now, that's what you should do.
But the condition he got it in was pretty bad.
It was running back.
There you go.
There you go. Once again, it's failed government, and this is only their excuse of failed government. Smoke and mirrors, like you said last week. Go ask the mayor why he has not done a project with Massac County Theater, with the Massac County Theater. They took it by eminent domain. They promised a project. There is not a project done yet. That is a good question for the mayor. That is a good question for the mayor. When they take people's property by eminent domain, that is not a friendly act of doing business in any community. Go ask the mayor why he did not do a project with the Massac Theater. They used eminent domain, they took private property from a private citizen and did no project.
Anything else?
You will look at this budget and adjust it accordingly? Because, I mean, the actual for 2015 is $4 million off from the budgeted amount. And I don't have 16 because, of course, there hasn't been an audit for 16 yet. But, I mean, you can look, for 13 it was 3 million, for 14 it was 3 million, and then for 15 it was 4 million off. So you really need to be adjusting these numbers to come halfway close to it. 'Cause I mean, this is just the revenue part. And if this isn't right from the auditor, then y'all need to be looking for auditors. haven't done the correct job. Because that, going 3 years like this, I mean, well, it's ever since 2012 when I started on this. I mean, it's been $2, $3, $4 million off each year. It hasn't been adjusted. Y'all stay kind of steady with it, with what you have budgeted, but you haven't went up to the actual. So you need to use the actual and go from there on budgeting. And like I said, I will have the revenue part of it done next time for you to look at.
Maybe next Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to.
The expenses, correct?
Yes.
Know what you think?
Why didn't he go to the school board meeting? Was that a fair question to ask him?
It's been asked before.
What?
It's been asked before.
When would you like to get together this week?
You said, oh, you're working.
Yeah, I'm available.
Anytime.
Tomorrow? Okay, time tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
What time? What time?
I'm good.
Afternoon would be better.
12 o'clock, 1 o'clock?
One would be better.
Yeah.
One, let's make it 1 o'clock.
I'll let you do your number.
Sure.
Thank you.
You want that one or those two?
Thank you.
Hope you didn't get me on TV, but I'm not supposed to have a beer and I worked last night, so it's kind of hard for me to explain that.
You grew it fast.
Yeah, somebody, my coworker might see me and say, did you just get off work 4 hours ago?
You grew up fast, right? Miracle Grow?
Yeah. You don't want me
When
to
you
get
work
fired.
midnight, you're, everything's
Yeah,
out of kilter.
yeah. I don't see nobody.
Only a few people see this.
Yeah. So I just try to rush out of there quickly.
Nobody
Get off
watches
the
the
work.
news anyway.
Not bad. A few people do.
Easy on it.
Can you make any more noise?